Support for Headline Humboldt is made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Coming up next on Headline Humboldt, an errant series of explosions on the 4th of July in Crescent City left more than a dozen people injured and one child in a medically induced coma. Also, we sit down with Patrick Cleary from the Humboldt Folklife Society to talk about this year's festival in Blue Lake, scheduled to kick off next week. Coming up now on Headline Humboldt. From the top of Humboldt Hill, this is Headline Humboldt. I'm James Falk. Thanks for joining us. Politics in America has continued its downward slide into toxic conflict, and it's a trend that we all need to help rectify. So much of what counts as political discussion these days amounts to monologues in the echo chamber and furious social media diatribes, so much so that we forget that a person's politics aren't the only relevant details about their life. Don't get me wrong, as you probably are aware, I'm as opinionated as the next guy. I have very definite feelings about right and wrong, left and right, good policy and bad. Yet I also have family members and friends who vehemently disagree with me and are more than happy to say so again and again. As we celebrated this past 4th of July, I thought about the various sides in today's political debates and the fact that each includes decent people who mean well. We live in a cultural and social media environment that isolates us one from another and feeds our various prejudices until we're all at each other's throats. Don't compromise what you believe and definitely push for what you think is right. But people are the product of their families, communities, and information sources. By refusing to dehumanize the opposition and trying to seek understanding where possible, maybe we can start to bridge the divides that seem so intent on tearing this country apart. Our interview today is with Patrick Cleary from the Humboldt Folklife Society, who is here to preview next week's Humboldt Folklife Festival and share his love for roots music. This event, like so many others on the North Coast, helps to highlight the talent and passion of folks in Humboldt County. It's a rollicking good time that brings people together in a place and moment where politics isn't on the menu. But first, the news. After weeks of controversy and repeated calls from faculty, students, and some members of the community, Cal Poly Humboldt President Tom Jackson has announced that he will be leaving his post. The announcement came from the university and states that he will step away next month. Jackson has overseen a number of dramatic changes in his tenure, including the school shift being a polytechnic and the resulting expenditure of millions of dollars. Calls for Jackson's removal gained momentum in recent months in the wake of the school's shutdown over anti-Gaza war protests, when a few dozen students occupied various buildings and were ultimately arrested. Many criticized Jackson's early decisions to forcefully remove the students from campus, as well as his lack of communication with members of the faculty. The press release states that an interim president will be appointed shortly, and a national search will soon get underway to find his replacement. Quote, "We do the very best we can every day, trusting the faculty, staff, and students to do the same," Jackson said in the press release. In the end, it remains about the students. The Environmental Protection Information Center this week announced the launching of a new website to help folks get educated and empowered about the proposed wind power project off Humboldt Bay. The website, created with contributions from EPIC, Humboldt Waterkeeper, and the Redwood Region Climate and Community Resilience Hub, that's a mouthful, addresses many frequently asked questions about offshore wind and provides an opportunity for people to submit their own questions. Researchers at Brown University's Climate and Development Lab have kept track of how the fossil fuel industry and dark money groups have funded the development of organizations hostile to offshore wind. Quote, "Offshore wind is an important topic for our community. In working to decide whether this is right for Humboldt County, it is important that we are equipped to have a fact-based conversation," said Matt Simmons, climate attorney at EPIC. The purpose of the website is to provide a centralized place to learn more about the proposed offshore wind projects, along with potential benefits, costs, and risks. Visit northcoastoffshorewind.org to learn more. According to the Wild Rivers Outpost, an evening of fireworks and fun took a tragic turn this 4th of July when an errant explosion injured more than a dozen people and left one little boy in a medically induced coma. According to the report, people were on South Beach in Crescent City enjoying the holiday when one group began setting off a series of fireworks that quickly turned dangerous. The beach was crowded this year due to an inland heat wave, and those crowds exacerbated an already bad situation. Video of the explosions was posted to Facebook by user Kristen Haggard. Police have opened a criminal investigation into the incident. It appears that even as people began fleeing the scene and suffering injuries, as you saw, those responsible for the conflagration continued setting off fireworks and even went back for more. A GoFundMe page has been initiated to support the injured little boy who is being treated in a Portland area hospital. We'll be right back after the short break.
I'm David Gordon, Executive Director of Keat TV. And I want to tell you about the free PBS app. And it's not like free for 30 days or a 3-month trial. It's free for as long as you'd like to use it. Watch episodes of PBS shows that have premiered on TV recently, as well as Keat's live broadcast, right in the app, no antenna required. Shows like Frontline, PBS NewsHour, and Washington Week are always free, but you can get even more out of the PBS app by becoming a sustaining member of Keat. $5, $10, $20 a month. Any of those options will qualify you for our most popular member benefit, PBS Passport. Drama, science, nature, there's so much to watch with Passport. But what really matters is your donation now supports the PBS programs that you watch. Thank you.
Joining us now in studio is Patrick Cleary from the Humboldt Folklife Society, my longtime acquaintance. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, James.
So thanks for coming down.
Absolutely.
You guys have a big event coming up, and so let's start broad, and we'll kind of zoom in. What is Humboldt Folklife Society for people who may not know, and how did it come to be?
So we are a tiny little nonprofit that started in 1978 to put on a folk festival. And what we're all about is trying to encourage people to play instruments, to dance, to sing, to participate in music, and not just simply be spectators.
Yeah. And the folk part of it is kind of that whole like participate. It's
totally. I mean, folk music, as I was saying earlier, I mean, I think it's all folk music because, you know, as Bill Brunzi once said, you know, they ain't no horse ever made any of it. And so, you know, for us, it's a chance to focus on our local musicians in particular. So we're 100% local in terms of who performs. Yeah. We also are doing some workshops, and I'll talk about the folk school program that we hope to
I have questions about that because I love that idea.
Yeah, no, it's been something that we've been working on for a while, and I think we finally have a formula for it. But we will be doing music basically starting this Sunday with Annie and Mary Day. Yeah. We're partnering again with the Blue Lake Chamber of Commerce. And so we've booked 4 bands, which I should fully disclose that my band is the first band performing.
What's your band?
All Wheel Drive.
All Wheel Drive, I saw that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We're sort of a swing jazz band, brand new. Yeah. I'm also the MC for the 21st year or something like that of the day. But the Annie and Mary Day is a great small town day. Yeah. I mean, it starts with the pancake breakfast, the parade, music all day. There's Craft Festival. There's a car show. Yeah. And so we have 4 bands playing that day. And then we do take Monday off and get ready for the rest of the week.
And like you were saying earlier to me before the show, they were at one point kind of the same kind of event, right?
Yeah.
But then they separated because of COVID?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, years and years ago, it was a fiddle contest.
Oh, wow.
And after I got involved at one point, I pushed us away from the idea of a contest because I really don't like competitive music necessarily.
Yeah, for sure.
I want everybody to participate and everybody to win.
Yeah, and everyone to feel good about it because you're there to express yourself.
Yeah,
and,
so we evolved it to a fiddle festival, and then now it's just a music festival. Yeah. It's a great partnership with the Blue Lake Chamber of Commerce, and it's free. Yeah. So and it's really something that if you have nothing to do on Sunday, that's where you should be.
Come on now. So what's your membership look like for the Folklife Society?
We're a couple hundred people.
Okay. Is it funded largely by membership dues or?
Membership dues. We sell tickets for 3 of the evenings. We also do an event in August called the Buddy Brown Blues Festival.
Yeah, and I have the details here. This year you've got Backseat Drivers, Buddy Reed, the Blue Tones, Lost Dogs, and the Uptown Kings, and then finally Jenny and David and the Sweet Soul Band.
It's a really nice lineup.
It is a nice lineup.
Yeah, and that's our big fundraiser actually, because we sell a lot of beer at that event.
Yeah.
But we're a small organization. I mean, our annual budget is like $25,000.
Yeah.
And
but you succeed at what you're doing, which is putting on the folk festival and also the blues festival, and you guys have been doing it since, like you said, since 70s.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it since 2002.
Yeah. Only 22 years.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I'm still a newcomer around here.
Yeah, totally.
I remember when I first got involved, and they said, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
No, and one of the nice things that we've evolved to as well is that we are at least paying the musicians. For many years, it was a volunteer thing with the musicians.
That's actually, I mean, okay, folks, I don't know who's a musician out there, but not a lot of places pay.
Yeah.
And if they do pay, they demand a lot. So it's refreshing to hear that a festival like that can come up with that cash.
And the nice thing is it's a listening environment. So as a musician, you have a chance for people to actually sit and listen to you, and that means a lot. Yeah. And then we always we don't skimp on sound people. We hire the best sound people we can find, and so the quality of the performance is really great. And the other thing that I maintain is because especially if you're a working musician. You rarely get to see the other bands because you're busy rehearsing for your own and performing and things like
or whatever. Yeah.
And so this is sort of a musician party, but as a result, people know their friends are going to be there.
Yeah.
So they rehearse a little more.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. They're going to be under the gun. Kind of,
and it's like, you know what? I want to look really good for the Folklife Festival, so I'm going to let's do another rehearsal on Saturday just in case.
Yeah, it's a showcase for other musicians.
Yeah. So we get some really wonderful performances.
Yeah, I remember going out there, and I was shocked the first time I saw it because there was tents and people were in there, and people were just walking up with their guitars and strumming, and it was like such an open, welcoming environment for all levels of talent, because there were kids out there who'd been playing for maybe a year, knew their G, C, and D, but that's about it. But other guys were just ripping it up, Yeah. And I thought that is an opportunity that a lot of beginning students don't get, to be able to kind of sit next to masters and kind of shadow their abilities. And I think that's really, really useful.
Yeah. And we're really excited. We have Jesse Jonathan's going to be teaching 2 percussion workshops this year. And Jesse's just a master drummer.
Yeah.
And he's going to bring his own drums, so there'll be plenty for people to go.
Oh, that's cool.
Participate in and learn some basics of some, like, I think he's doing a Brazilian rhythm class and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's the easy way for somebody to get involved in music, is just to learn.
Yeah, just to paddle on and keep the rhythm.
Yeah.
But that sort of goes back to what we talked about in the beginning a little bit, was the what makes up folk music, and you were saying that you have a broad definition of that. Can you say that again for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I believe that jazz is folk music. I mean, I believe that rock and roll can be folk music. I mean, like and we were talking earlier about rap music. I don't think that rap music, doesn't fit. I think it does fit.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously there's the classical definition of like, well, is it bluegrass? Did Bill Monroe play it?
Or
did
Joan Baez?
or Pete
types.
Seeger? Did you write it yourself? Is the song at least 100 years old? For us, it's a very broad definition, but it's really trying to highlight the folks who live here.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. Like you said, this is only local talent, and the fact that you have such such talented folks to play speaks well about this community's talent level. Can you talk a little bit about how talented the musicians and artists are?
Sure. I mean, some of the people that play this festival, even this year, I mean, we have a fellow, Cray Van Kirk, is playing. Cray is a professional singer-songwriter. He tours around the country. Nobody here locally really knows him.
Yeah.
So he's going to be performing on Wednesday night before Huckleberry Flint.
Who we've had on this show, or this station several times.
Yeah, I mean, they're the perennial favorites.
Yeah, they're so good. I mean, they're amazing.
But also like Joanne Rand, who has released probably 18 CDs in her career.
Wow.
And performs all around the country and goes up to Oregon Country Fair and things like that.
Yeah.
And the level of talent that we have that people don't know about.
Exactly.
Is just stunning. So just being able to put a highlight on that is really something special for us.
Now, so the Humboldt Folk School,
Yes.
is associated with the festival in that it occurs during that? Is that
well,
right?
It used to occur more without, we do most of the festival at Del Arte. And, as you probably know, Del Arte's been through a few changes in the last couple of years. So we're not going to be doing as much during the festival. But what we've worked out now is an agreement with the McKinleyville Middle School. And we're going to do a series of one-day folk schools in the fall.
That's so cool. That's amazing.
Which will be free to the students. And we've got enough funding to pay the teachers. And we're going to be doing things like, introduction to bluegrass guitar, or, how to play the blues, or, how to put some fun into your practice. And then, we have people like Rob Diggins, who's going to probably teach how to play East Indian ragas on the fiddle. There's some really neat stuff that's going to be going on. So we'll be, announcing a lot more of that. We probably won't have the whole schedules worked out by the festival time, but, we're encouraging people to sign up for our email list, which is HumboldtFolklife.com.
And they'll be able to check the schedule there.
And we'll send out emails from that. We have an email blast. We have a Facebook page, obviously, Instagram.
The social media.
However you communicate with people these days.
TikTok?
No, I don't think we're on TikTok.
See, man,
I know.
You're behind the times.
I know. We're losing the youth. We gotta work on this.
But so now you're a musician yourself.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about for yourself? I mean, like the folk school, and then also just going to the festival. Kids picking up this kind of traditional music, or even just music in general. What is the value of that, in your opinion, for them, both educationally and just for their lives in general?
Well, I think the research shows that learning to play an instrument is so incredibly helpful for brain development. It implies, you need a certain level of concentration and focus. You need a certain level of, just being able to relax and use I always get my right brain and left brain confused, but use that other side of the brain. And I remember years and years ago when I was still in college, I got picked up by the head recruiter of IBM, and he told me that they hired math majors as computer programmers. And I said, really? And he says, oh, the skills are totally transferable. And so music is, it's also, as you were talking in your introduction here, I mean, it's a way to build community that's not political.
Exactly right.
That we bring people from all walks of life there, all ages. We've been supported, by people from all areas of the political spectrum. And people just love it, and people get to, build their sense of, this is who we are. And so to me, music is, incredibly important. Probably the most rewarding thing I've had since being involved with Folklife Society was an email we got once from a woman who said, "You all changed my life because I went to a barn dance and I met my future husband, and now I have children, and I'm so happy, and it's all because of you."
No, that's amazing.
And speaking of which, we are doing the barn dance again.
Yes, in fact, the barn
Friday
dance.
night.
Yep, Friday of July 19th. Tickets are $15, 7 p.m. And the Cider Mill String Band with caller Lindsay Battle. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And
excellent.
That is a fun time. You don't need to have a partner. You don't need to know what you're doing. Lindsay is a world-class caller, and she'll walk you through it, and she'll teach you the dance. And we're doing it this year. They've redone the sound in Prash Hall at Blue Lake, so we're going to keep the festival all in Blue Lake this year. And
just to give people a sense real quick of what it looks and sounds like, this is an old documentary from local filmmaker Chuck Johnson, but take a listen. So that's just a little bit of sample of the music, but it's beautiful, the vocal harmonies, the guitar playing, all that. So now you play an instrument. What instrument do you play?
These days, mostly mandolin, but I mean, I started as a guitar player.
Yeah.
I do dabble on the banjo. I've been taking up the dobro lately.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can fake my way through a stand-up bass if I have to.
No, I'm a guitar player,
Okay.
and so I play bass a bunch, and I've played mandolin, but I can't. In order to play mandolin, I have to flip my brain around and play upside down and backwards or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself doing that, or have you gotten enough of a native knowledge now on the mandolin to no longer have to think that way?
I don't have to think that way anymore.
Okay, that's good.
I've been lucky on that. I had a guitar teacher who taught me years ago. He said, just take everything you know how to play on the guitar and play it on the mandolin.
Yeah.
And so now my brain just says, oh, I'm playing G. And whatever instrument I'm playing, I know where the G chord is or something like that, and I can start there.
Yeah.
But it is something that, it takes playing, ideally every day. Mm-hmm. If you can play for 5 minutes every day, that will transform your playing more than anything else.
Yeah, and it's also, it's a way to process emotions. There's a lot of therapeutic value.
Totally.
Like during COVID, if I didn't have a guitar, I would have gone absolutely crazy. But I was able to, work out my stuff, post stuff online, and still kind of vaguely perform in a way, and it's just a great way to kind of stay mentally fit, I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it's also a lot of value to playing with somebody else too, and,
absolutely.
and that feeling of participation, and I think that's something that we worry about to some degree, is that it used to be 100 years ago, or maybe 110 years ago or so, at this point. But before recorded music, the only way you had music was if somebody in your home played.
Exactly.
And there were pianos in the home, and there were guitars in the home, and there were mandolin orchestras.
Yeah.
And as recorded music came by, and I think one of the things that's really hard for a musician is to compare yourself to a recorded song. Mm-hmm. Because you listen to somebody and you go, that's perfect. I'm not perfect. I took a lot of heart when I realized that the Beatles, did 40 tracks to their songs before they got it right.
And exactly right.
Oh, so I've been in the recording studio lately recording some of my original songs, and it is humbling.
Oh, it is. And the red light fever, right? That's what we called it when I was younger. It's like the light comes on, and all of a sudden the thing that you could play so perfectly 10 minutes ago is gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Being able to relax in that situation is really hard.
Yeah.
And I can do it right now, but don't put an instrument in my hand.
Exactly right. Well, and that's the other thing about music, somehow, and I don't know how this works, and a metaphysicist somewhere is going to have to explain it to me, but the harmonies elicit emotional responses from folks.
Absolutely.
And that's why music is, one of the reasons why music is so beautiful and therapeutic is it takes you on an emotional trip every time you hear a melody, because it's coming up and down, and it's like you're intellectually or whatever comparing it to the scale, and it gives you tension and resolution and all of that stuff. And so it's almost like the musician becomes a kind of shaman, for helping people connect and transport them.
Totally, and has been through many, many traditions. And the Greeks, were the ones, Pythagoras actually, was the one who invented the scale.
Yeah, exactly right.
But, also in many other cultures, shaman is a good term, I think, for it. And, even throughout the Middle Ages and things, there was, court musicians and composers and things like that. We crave music, and it does do many good things for us in terms of, I don't know if it's brainwaves or, I'm not that metaphysical.
Exactly, the technical part of it, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but I do know the impact of it, and I do know watching people just enjoy a shared experience, and I think that's the other thing that, especially like during COVID when we were all isolated, we didn't have that shared experience as much, and and we took a couple years off from folk life, and people missed it.
Yeah. Was there ever a risk that it might not come back, or was it always pretty much, you guys made it sure it was secure, or is it so married to the festivals that, like, if you have the festival, you can have the, the society kind of thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I asked myself that question too. I don't know the answer to that question. I asked myself, if I wasn't here, would the festival happen? And I do think this year, for the first time in a number of years, I feel good about our volunteer team. I feel good that we have some younger people stepping up. But there was a period of time where I was like, if I don't call the first meeting to say, okay, we have to organize a festival this year, will anybody else step up? But I think we're well positioned to do that. I think we've built a reputation for just a quality a series of events, and my goal as I try to edge into retirement is to spend that building up the folk school, building up the education component of it, trying to corrupt a whole new generation of folk musicians.
Well, that was one of my other questions, is like in the age of online offerings, YouTube videos, AI, and that sort of thing, what is the future of folk music? But it sounds like you think that there's a bright future for it.
I think it's a very bright future for it, and I think, the resources are amazing. Being able to go to YouTube and say, I want to learn how to play this song, and there's somebody there most likely
That's exactly right.
who has a lesson on how to play this song. But at the same time, if you're playing it wrong, there's nobody there to say, you really should use your right hand differently, or you might want to try this fingering. So there's no substitute for a teacher-student relationship. And there's no substitute, I think, for making music together. I think that's one of the things, and you talked about, the jam experience and things like that, that people, develop just like, I was part of something bigger. And I think that's going to continue.
As you can see on the screen right now, 2024 Humboldt Folklife Festival, July 16th through July 20th in Blue Lake. The website is humboldtfolklife.com. You can see ticket prices and everything there. Thank you, Patrick, for coming in.
Thank you for having me, James. It's a pleasure.
I love it, and thank you for your work on that and everything else you do.
My pleasure again. And I'm glad that this show is continuing to soldier on, and it's important.
I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. This program has been made possible thanks to the support of viewers like you, so thank you. And before we go, remember to check out our podcast, Neon Galactic, to get a chauffeured ride through the cosmos. Visit youtube.com/@neongalactic to have your mind blown. Stay toned, stay informed.
Nice.